we're in it now. Oh, yeah. Just let him get off the train and go. Oh, you should have said that you pulled a knife on your shot, son of a bitch. He pulled something out of his pocket that looked like a gun. Oh, damn, it was a goddamn comb. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm bad.
They were introduced in state houses across the country.
ALEC has been, I think, a wonderful organization. Not only does it bring like-minded legislators together, but the private sector engagement and partnership in ALEC is really what I think makes it the organization that it is.
Pardon me? Enough rope to hang a motherfucker.
The American Legislative Exchange Council, or ALEC.
ALEC is a nationwide consortium of elected state legislators working side by side with some of America's most powerful corporations. They have an agenda you should know about, a mission to remake America, changing the country by changing its laws, one state at a time. ALEC creates what it calls model legislation, pro-corporate laws like this one, that its members push in state houses across the country. ALEC says close to 1,000 bills, based at least in part on its models, are introduced every year, and an average of 200 pass. This has been going on for decades. Recall that the shooter in Trayvon Martin's death was protected at first by Florida's so-called Stand Your Ground law. That law was the work of the National Rifle Association. There's its lobbyist standing right beside Governor Jeb Bush when he signed it into law in 2005.
These are the bills that were provided by the whistleblower. That's just the index.
There were more than 850 of them. 850 boilerplate laws that ALEC legislators could introduce as their own in any state in the union.
Bills to change the law to make it harder for American citizens to vote, those were ALEC bills. Bills to dramatically change the rights of Americans who are killed or injured by corporations, those were ALEC bills. Bills to make it harder for unions to do their work were ALEC bills. Bills to basically block climate change agreements, those were ALEC bills. When I looked at them, I was really shocked. I didn't know how incredibly extensive and deep and far-reaching this effort to rework our laws was.
She and her team began to plow through ALEC's documents, as well as public sources, to compile a list of the organizations and people who were or had been ALEC members. They found hundreds of corporations, from Coca-Cola and Coke Industries to ExxonMobil, Pfizer, and Walmart, right-wing think tanks and foundations, 24 corporate law firms and lobbying firms, and some 1,000 state legislators, a few of them Democrats, the majority of them Republican.
ALEC is a corporate...
And here's a thought: throw them into the tracks, the wheels, and then say try to escape. But too late for that. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, good hunting.
Whenever he can. By one count, over a third of Pocan's fellow Wisconsin lawmakers are ALEC members.
When you look around, especially on the Republican side of the aisle, a lot of members of ALEC. Front row, ALEC. When you start going down to, the chair of finance and some of the other members are all ALEC members. In fact, ALEC co-chair for the state. Row by row, you can point out people who've been members of ALEC.
Pardon me? Enough rope to hang a motherfucker.
Special interest.
This is from the New Orleans Convention. This includes a number of seminars that they held for legislators, including one called Warming Up to Climate Change, the many benefits of increased atmospheric CO2.
That 2011 ALEC conference, lo and behold, was sponsored by BP, ExxonMobil, Chevron, and Shell, among others. Another of its events featured guns.
This is the NRA-sponsored shooting event. for legislators and for lobbyists. Free.
There was even...
Oh God, we're in it now. Oh yeah. I just let him get off the train and go. Oh, you should have said that you pulled a knife on your shot, son of a bitch. He pulled something out of his pocket that looked like a gun. Damn, it was a goddamn comb. I'm sorry. My bad. Sorry. I'm bad. Oh well. Anyway, or you could have arrested him or waited for the train, tried to pull out. And here's a thought: throw him into the tracks, the wheels, and then say he tried to escape. But too late for that. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, good hunting.
It sounds like lobbying. It looks like lobbying. It smells like lobbying. But ALEC says it's not lobbying. In fact, ALEC operates not as a lobby group, but as a nonprofit, a charity. In its filing with the IRS, ALEC says its mission is education, which means it pays no taxes and its corporate members get a tax write-off. Its legislators get a lot too.
In Wisconsin, I can't take anything.
Pardon me? Enough rope to hang a motherfucker.
Cold spell these days. It's January. It's supposed to be cold. And, you know, Al, what do you think here? Are we kind of a bunch of weenies when it comes to the cold?
I think it's a combination of that we're not used to it, and social media has now kind of made everything extreme.
Yeah, we are weather wimps, but it's justified because 1 minute it's 56, the weather whiplash,
right,
as they call it. The next day it's like 2.
And then back again. This weekend it's going to be in the 50s again.
You're an LA guy.
January. It's January.
But we've lost consistency, and I think that creates this conversation of like, is it cold? Is it hot? What's it going to be? Is it linked to something? Is it not?
He's right.
Is this the face of weather wimp right now?
We showed you this photo of Dad
But too late for that. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, good hunting.
The sister of a robbery suspect is locked up tonight for what she said about the mentally disabled victim after leaving court. Rhonda Bailey was sentenced to 30 days in jail by the same judge who just sentenced her brother, Harry Bailey, to 24 years in prison for assaulting and robbing a woman who functions at the level of a 9-year-old. Rhonda Bailey called the victim apparently a derogatory name as she was leaving the courtroom. Bailey was then hauled back into court and held in contempt. The judge called her, quote, an animal. You know, moments like that have one...
Tried to escape. But too late for that. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, good hunting.
The man of God. Now God has turned his face away from this world, and its order is broken down.
But it will be restored.
I'm afraid not. Once, you see, every man had his task, every task its reason, its reward. The peasant fed us, the priest prayed for our salvation, the nobleman defended all. Now, we the nobles, your legal party and mine, we're meant to be shepherds, become wolves. Far from defending the peasant, we prey upon him. Who can blame those meek men who have fed us from the beginning of time, rising against us? It may sound harsh, but I believe right is on the side of the peasant.
I mean, a culture that just views a pig as a pile of protoplasmic inanimate structure to be manipulated by whatever creative design the human can foist on that critter will probably view individuals within its community and other cultures in the community of nations with the same type of disdain and disrespect and controlling type mentality.
Tech. Tucson. Aurora. Fort Hood. Oak Creek. Newtown.
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 How many more? How many more? How many more colleges?
Now. You! Demand it!
Enough!
Enough.
Enough!
Enough.